Well, hello. My name is natsuvega. I mostly play games on stream, JRPGs specifically, but I thought I'd want to do a little book talk about some of the books I've been reading. There's been some books I've read and I'm like, I was not so interested in them by the time I finished them, and I was like, I'd rather not talk about it because I really couldn't capture my attention so much. But two books that I've been reading have been. I had a trip last week and I was able to finish the first Warrior Cats book, and halfway through another book, a video I'm gonna do right after this one. But the Warrior Cats, it's a book that my wife loves very much. She has many of the books. She doesn't have all of them, but I think that's because they're still making books, funnily enough. We do at least have the first 6 books, which every 6 books I believe is a saga or an arc, and it looks like at least the first arc covers a cat who's a kitty pet at first, and then later becomes part of the Thunder Clan. It being I'm already forgetting the names. Firepaw. Firepaw's the kitty pet turned into a Thunder Clan warrior very early on in the book. And I really like this book. It always kept me on my toes. It was a lot of, well, I think my wife, they have animated or fan animated scenes of at least the first couple of chapters. Actually, I was reading it and I was like, oh, I remember that from the animated things on YouTube. And then when I got past it, I was like, oh, well, in the animated, the cats seem to have like special powers. Not in the book. They're just mostly regular cats with things they're good at or things they're not good at. But I like how these books have been sort of, you're learning with the protagonist, it being Firepaw, to begin to learn a little bit about the lore, about all the warrior cats, about all the clans. It's not all just force fed to you immediately. It so slowly implements, because you're a kitty pet who's a kitty pet being someone who lives with the two-leg people or humans. And very early on, Firepaw wants to hunt and doesn't enjoy the life of a kitty pet, the mundane, eating the same food and just walking around your perimeter. So one day he decides to venture off into the forest to hunt mice, and that's when he meets ThunderClan, who asks to sort of stop because he's a kitty pet and doesn't deserve to hunt when ThunderClan themselves are scavenging for food, because it looks like later on you find out that all the clans are fighting for food supply. So that's like a little struggle you find out later between all the clans. And another thing I like about the book is that at the beginning of the book you get a map. They give you a map of the terrain, so you kind of know where every clan is situated at. So it gives you a sort of like envisioning, like, you know, Thunder Clan is in the big foresty area. Shadow Clan is a little more open area. Same with the Wind Clan and stuff, and River Clan. And then it gives you the leader. Also there's a hierarchy between clans. You have your leader, who is the leader of the clan. They usually make all the rules. They also have some sort of magical power. It gives them, when you become a leader, you're given that cat is given 9 lives. And your name changes as well. When you become a leader, the end of your name, like Firepaw, it turns into like star when you're leader. And I think once you're not a warrior, like an apprentice sort of, I think most apprentices are called like something pa, something. And then I think later on you get like a name. Could be heart, or I've seen leaf or tail. To make an example, there's also a deputy who works right under the leader. There's the medicine cats are very important. If pretty much if a clan loses their medicine cat, they kind of more susceptible to sickness or injuries and, you know, dying. And then you have your warriors. These are mainly the ones that go hunting and protect the perimeter, because some other clans, they tend to venture off to other people's clans to hunt for food, because again, they're hungry, they need to feed their clan, but it's not allowed. They usually have cats holding the perimeter to make sure nobody, and they have really good smell. You learn because Firepaw is being taught the ways of a warrior cat, and they use smell a lot to figure out what clan has been trespassing, which one of them is theirs, so on and so forth. And then you have your like not deputy leader, but they're like warriors who have been doing this for a long time, like Lionheart. But then these people have apprentices, like Lionheart's apprentice is Greypaw, and then like Tiger Claw's apprentice is Ravenpaw or Sandpaw. And I think there's other cats that just don't have apprentices, but I guess there's not enough. I think ThunderClan has an issue of not having enough cats to defend themselves. I think very early on there's like a little area of dispute and they lose a lot of their cats, and now they're like, which is the reason why our protagonist joined the ThunderClan, because they need more people, so they have to end up having kitty pets. They do ask him if he's not ready, he can just go back because they don't need another mouth to feed. But Firepaw, I think, shows them time and time again that he does want to be a warrior cat, and he does have the skills to do it. I think early on in the book, the cats can also go to speak to the what is it, Star Clan, which I think is the well, it's all the clans together, but it's of cats that have passed away already. But they give Blue Star a vision that only fire will save the clan, and you know, Firepaw, being an orange cat, might be the one to save the clan. But I like how everything is told. I don't feel like anything got dragged out along the chapters. There are some things you need to learn, like Two Leg. That's pretty easy to understand. That's a human. Firepaw does make friends with one of the first cats he meets, being what was his name? Greypaw. They're both apprentice kits and build a pretty strong friendship with each other. Same with Ravenpaw, not as much. Ravenpaw's teacher's a little mean to him. Pretty mean to him. Kind of not a good guy. So he's kind of like always timid and worried he won't do well. But these three are the main cats that build a friendship along the story. And then you begin to learn more about the ways of the clan. And it's pretty much like that, learning Firepaw, learning new things. They have a gathering every month with all the clans. And pretty much halfway through the entire book is just you learning about a little bit about the history, not too much. They don't go too in detail of things that happened in the past or stories of old. I think during one of the clan meetings, I believe it's Lionheart, I think some of the other clan kits are asking about the history, and Lionheart's like, if only you all were so interested in history, I would tell you more about these stories, or something like that. So I'm sure we'll learn about more of the history of the other Thunder Clan and other clans before it. I'm not sure if we even know about the music. A little too loud. It's a little too loud sometimes. And by the way, I'm using Blue Turtle. I couldn't find any good background music, so I'm using Blue Turtle for 3 hours of fantasy music to have in the background. I lost my train of thought. But yes, besides the 6 books that are arcs, there's also books, spin-off books of like short stories or like novellas. There's a lot, and I think there's even a part where I think the story's so long there's more than just one author, I believe. Sometimes things get retconned later, but what was it? Yes, my wife actually already took up a Fire and Ice book, which at the end of the book, there's a little, like a couple pages of the next book to sort of keep you intrigued. I'm trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible up until the end. I'll mention when spoilers start, big spoilers of the story. But halfway through the book is just Firepaw learning the way of Thunder Clan, knowing about the disputes with other clans and what things they have to worry about, and making sure they get good enough to fill in the gaps left between other cats that have sadly passed away. And it's pretty much like that up until a certain chapter. I don't know if I want to keep going, but I'll read the back of the book. For generations, 4 clans of wildcats have shared the forest according to the laws laid down by their warrior ancestors. But ThunderClan cats are in grave danger, and the sinister Shadow Clan, I mean, name says for itself, grows stronger every day. Noble warriors are dying, and some deaths are more mysterious than others. In the midst of turmoil appears an ordinary house cat named Rape. The Firepaw was rusty at the beginning. He may turn out to be the bravest warrior of them all. And I believe the rest of the books, Firepaw is the main character. I could be wrong. And then after halfway through the book, it's just I couldn't drop the book. It kept on doing like plot twist after plot twist after. It was crazy. It was a terrible thing happened right after another terrible thing, and I was like, what? How are they going to get out of this? But I very much enjoy the book. It's not that hard. I forget the names. Once they say the names, I'm really bad with names. Once they say the names, I know who it is. It's not like other books where they say a name and I'm like, who's this again? And again, they have the first 2 pages give you a list of most cats. Let me see if this clan is... Oh, she's not. Okay. No, yes, they're here. They're under the cats outside of the clan. Okay. But I think this is where I start my spoiler section. So if you want to read the book or start reading the book for yourselves, go on ahead. They don't cost too much, I believe. You can even buy the whole set. And they're not super long books. They're around 250 pages. The other book I'm reading, I think, is 600 pages, and it's, let me see the size. Oh yeah, it's like maybe an inch taller, and the word font's a little smaller. But here is spoiler warnings again. But let's see. Firepaw ends up becoming the apprentice of Blue Star, the leader of ThunderClan. And you begin to notice that Shadow Clan has been sort of infiltrating other clan areas. And that's why they've been having war disputes with other clans as well. But during the everything was fine in their first all 4 clan meetings. It seems like Firepaw wasn't a part of it. Second time they go, Firepaw does end up going with his friends, and they're waiting for this. I believe it's River Clan to show up. It could be the wrong clan. I can't really remember. I think maybe it's Wind Clan that's missing. But one of those 2 clans, they just don't show up. They don't show up. They're like, oh, they'll make it. And then they start the meeting and they're nowhere to be seen. And Shadow Clan kind of threatens. Shadow Clan has a new leader. And he's like, we have too many kids. You all need to share your land so that, because we're strong. Or something along those lines. So they kind of start invading other clans, and it starts having a little fight. But before that, they find another cat called Yellowfang. You later find out was part of the Shadow Clan and was their medicine cat. Shadow Clan's current medicine cat being called, was it Running Nose or something? But Firepaw finds Yellowfang first and captures her, right? Crazy. Since Yellowfang is a warrior, I guess an old warrior, but you soon find out that Firepaw has really good fighting instincts. He can think a lot and knows how to. He's not a strong cat, but he is an agile and tactics-wise cat, and it usually works out for him. So then they bring it in, and there's like I love the little dynamic where one of the people doesn't like a character, and then slowly begins to warm up to them the more they spend time together, and that sort of bond happens with Firepaw and Yellowfang. A lot of the clan is against Yellowfang, specifically because she was once part of Shadow Clan, and they think she's out there to like be a spy or attack them within, and that's a big issue going on forward. So then again, it's but Blue Star seems to be okay with it, their leader. And it kind of tells everybody to calm down, and she'll make sure to keep an eye on her or something, make sure nothing bad happens. And then, I don't know if I want to go too big into I'll sort of into it. There is a traitor between the Thunder Clan. There, later on, or early in the book, the Thunder Clan deputy dies. Right around the time Firepaw shows up in the clan for the first time. And at first you think another clan may have killed said cat, but then you later find out it was do you find out? It's sort of hinted to. Someone from Thunder Clan did it. And one of the apprentices knows But how will, how is an apprentice gonna point it towards one of their warrior cats? Which is why I wonder how it'll go, because again, Blue Star is Firepaw's apprentice, and Firepaw knows about this. So he's not sure if to tell Blue Star or to keep it between himself and wait. That was one of the huge twists, and I was like, what? I won't see who it is. Maybe you'll find out. Or maybe you'll piece it, because I told my wife and she was like, you didn't figure it out? And I was like, no. And then later, there's new kits that are born. And then one night, they get attacked and by Shadow Clan, I believe, while half the clan was gone. Well, not maybe half the clan, but the strongest of the clan were gone for a bit, and they took their kits away. And of course, a lot of the hot-headed cats blame Yellowfang, but I think Yellowfang escapes before they go. I don't know, enact revenge on her, but it's during a storm, so the cats end up not going, but Blue Star ends up sending Firepaw, and Firepaw gets his friends to go with them to find Yellowfang to see what actually happened. Of course, Firepaw and Yellowfang have made such a deep bond throughout the book that Firepaw doesn't believe it, so he's out there to sort of prove her innocence in a way. And a lot of stuff happened. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin too many of the surprises, but a lot of things. It's like the last maybe 5 chapters. So many things, so many revelations. And I just wonder how the next book is called Fire and Ice. So yeah, if Firepaw is the fire, I wonder if there'll be a new cat that resembles Ice, and they sort of like both help. But I can't wait to read the second book. I want to finish my other book that I'm reading first, and then maybe I'll start reading book 2 of Warrior Cats. But yeah, that's it for my review. Really fun book. I definitely would have loved reading this when I was younger. I didn't know about the word. Maybe I did know about it, but I wasn't really intrigued into it. But again, luckily my wife has the first 6 books of the arc, so once I finish my other book, I'll start binging the Warrior Cats, and maybe I'll get the second book of the other book that I'm reading. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to talk about the book, at least the first book, and all for any Warrior Cat fans. And I'll definitely be reading more and making more videos of the other books whenever I get to them. I might be a little slow. I don't get a whole bunch of time to read, but hopefully I at least try to read a chapter a day if I can, or more if I'm allowed to. But yeah, until then, we'll enjoy this. Hopefully this gets somebody to read the book. It's a really good book. And there's a lot of books. Just 6 books of the first arc. Let me see. The Prophecies Begin, these 6 books, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. 42, 48. Okay. And these are super editions. Yeah, they also have manga, graphic novels. Here's the novellas I was talking about. They have field guides and book sets. Did I count 48 books? Not including like the shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Dang. 48 books. Join the action every cat. Not only warrior clans, but the whole forest. Okay, so this is mostly sort of about the Thunder Clan. I don't know. Are they all the Thunder Clan, or do you join a different clan at some point? You see another Thundercats. I don't know. Oh, okay. This is like the very first warrior cats. That's interesting. Omen of the Star. The titles are pretty. They're pretty good. I like this cat. Looks cute. Discover the new adventure that unfolds after the events of Visions of Shadows. Oh, so it's like follow the clan to the follow of the imposter's destructive rage. A changing code, changing skies. Oh no, this is newest books. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is. Okay. I wonder where the maybe it's the novellas I was looking at. Yeah. All the leaves, Misty Star. Okay. That makes sense. It's a lot of books. If you ever want to get into them. But yeah, until next time, I don't know when I'll make another book. Again, I'll have to get through a whole book. So it'll probably be, I don't know, hopefully not by the end of the year. Maybe, of course, I'm only halfway through this other book that's ginormous. But yeah, I think I've talked enough. If you want to pick up the book, I've seen them on Amazon for pretty cheap. I think if you want, there's also several types of books. There's like the hardcover and whatnot. And not sure if the sets are also cheaper. But yeah, go on ahead and either read the book, leave a like, leave a comment if you want to talk about it. It might be a little late with the comments. Not too late, maybe a day or two late, but yeah. Take care. Bye bye.